once again as we bring you thrilling MCLA lacrosse action. Tonight's game features the #2 ranked Brigham Young University Cougars versus the Fighting Illini from the University of Illinois. Hi, I'm Marty Westcott, and welcome once again to the campus of Brigham Young University here on South Field. We're coming to you live nationally on BYU TV, and we have a fantastic evening for lacrosse. The weather has been great, the field is wonderful, and we're ready to go. Joining me once again in the booth is the Hall of Famer Charlie Friedman. And Charlie, BYU comes in ranked #2, has a tough game last night against #5 Duluth. How's Illinois going to stack up?
Illinois is the beneficiary of a real rough game for BYU last night against Minnesota Duluth. They may be a little tired. Illinois always brings a tough team. They're going to be ready for tonight's contest.
Certainly Illinois, a perennial power in the MCLA, maybe down a little bit this year, but we can look for a tough effort from them.
I'm not going to say anybody's down this year. This league is deep. It's going to be a great game, I guarantee it.
Leading the Illini here tonight, Joe O'Malley, #31, attackman. Tell us about him.
He's a tough player, and he loves to assist. Coach wants him to shoot more, but he insists on dishing it out. He'll play from behind at the X, he'll play from the wing, but he loves to pass the ball.
The BYU Longpoles are going to have their hands full with O'Malley. Speaking of BYU's had some tremendous input from some freshmen this year. They happen to be roommates, Ted Farron and Elliot Groh.
Both from Salt Lake City, Utah. Very interesting story. Now, it is tough to crack the rotation at BYU as a freshman, but these guys have earned it. Elliot Groh is great on the assist. He's a former point guard. He likes to take it right to the hole and be very creative. Ted Farron, as described by Coach, is a real slippery player. He has very good lateral quickness. Great shot. I'm excited to watch these guys tonight.
Certainly BYU's going to need their input tonight. Elliot Groh playing the defensive midfield position. They're going to look for him to clear and to score.
No question. Great player. Love watching Elliot Groh.
Elliot Groh, a tough player playing with a broken hand as we speak. Joining us once again on the sideline is Jerem Jordan. Jerem, how about this BYU team early in the season?
Well, the attack has been sensational, including Farron, like you mentioned, but Justin Heyer and Mark Davis, those three combined have scored 60 goals on the season already. The whole Illinois team has scored 64, just to give you a little comparison there. Coach Jason Lamb says that they are sensational up front. They can use both hands, they're versatile, very good, they can do it all. Coach A.J. Stevens from Illinois said he doesn't have any specific plan to stop these three, but if Illinois hopes to get a victory today, they're gonna have to stop those three guys. Back to you.
Thanks, Jerem. Absolutely. I would have a plan to stop those three. We have got a great game for you on tap. We're going to be right back with the starting lineups right after this. You're not going to want to miss a minute. Stick with us. Hey, welcome back. There's a good shot of South Field here at Brigham Young University, and the referees are about to have the introductions and get the lineup here for the beginning of the game. We're going to take a look at the Illinois starters here, Charlie.
Here we go on the attack. You got two really, well, this attack line is all big, but Prescott and Dobson, 6'4" and 6'2". O'Malley, again, the player that loves to feed. He'll be looking for those big guys to finish his feeds. Here at the midfield, it's a very athletic group, very fast group. They love to initiate their offense from the midfield with Black, Valencia, and Sutherland. Fox playing the long pole. And it's a tough defensive group. This is a hitting group. It's a very physical group. They're going to look to establish themselves early as a defensive force, rattle the cages of the BYU attackmen early with Arndt, Gainey, Dobson, and Rakowski. I think I got that wrong.
I think it's Rakuzi.
Rakuzi in the cage. Very athletic player, a freshman. True freshman.
And there's Coach A.J. Stevens in his second season with the record of 33-15. Both played and coached, I think, at UMass and Dartmouth, and so he's got quite a pedigree and brings that to Illinois here in his second season. And like we mentioned in the stand-up, Illinois a perennial power, and looking to kind of get back into the rankings here.
Yeah, I had a nice conversation with Coach before the game. He's really got a great lacrosse pedigree and coached at Dartmouth also.
Here's a look at the BYU starters, Charlie.
Farron, Davis, and Heyer. Farron filling in for Marshall Kay, who is injured, and did a nice job last night, I thought. Davis and Heyer need very little introduction. They're great players. This is a great group. Monteith, Austin, and Nagley at the midfield. Nagley, a big player, had the winning goal last night. A lot of attention goes to Monteith and Austin, and Nagley can be just as dangerous. And then Murphy Smith at the long pole, who is really a pretty spectacular long pole. He's got great speed, great checks. He's a force on the long stick. Jordan Harris, Preston Folger, Britt Cohn on the defense. Britt Cohn, a freshman. doing a great job. And Christian Kikamoto in the cage, he's really having a fabulous season. He's come up with big saves when the Cougars have needed him.
2 freshmen on that starting defense line with Preston Folger as a freshman return missionary. And there's a good look at Coach Lamb as they introduce the players in 13 seasons with a fantastic record of 166 and 60. You know, as we always mention, one of the great forces for the growth of lacrosse at this level nationally and in the state of Utah in particular. So congratulations go out to Coach Lamb on his efforts, and wish him the best today, as we do Coach Stevens on the Illinois side. So looking forward to a great matchup. 2 great coaches. I mean, it would be really hard to say what not only Coach Lamb has meant for the BYU program, because he's the driving force for building it into what it's become, but for lacrosse in Utah also. And it's a tremendous program, Charlie. I don't think we're going to break any NCAA rules by mentioning that, you know, he has a number of kids, I mean, upwards of 30 or 40 kids that are interested in coming to play for BYU next year. And, you know, it's just, you know, he doesn't really have to go out and recruit as much, just because people are recognizing the program and want to come play. No question. I mean, it's well, Marty, it used to be that if you had a couple of years experience, now I'm talking about in the 80s, and it was that way across most of the West. Right. You walk on and you play a lot. Well, yeah, as a freshman, we had 6 players my freshman year that came to BYU and started, 6 freshmen starting on the team, and we had a great team. So, I mean, that just kind of goes to show how the changes come. I don't think I could play on this team. My freshman year, we had a kid that was fast. Okay, you're fast, you clear. Yeah, exactly. We didn't care about his stick. We just put the ball in his stick and he cleared. So here we go. It's not that way anymore. It's not that way for any of these teams anymore. Which is fantastic. It's just great for the growth of lacrosse. You've got Watterson and 22 Sutherland out there trying to face off. We've got a ball still loose. It's going to Illinois. Number 35, Stephen Black comes up with it. Defended there by Murphy Smith. Number 4, Valencia for Illinois, controlling at the top of the box. Gets it down to number 37, Nate Prescott, the big 6'4" attackman. And first shot and a save by Kikamoto. Kikamoto saw it very well. BYU starting in the side of the field where the sun shines this time of day, and it's cloudy. Very fortunate break for BYU, not like last night. Boy, the UMD keeper just had a horrible assignment in that first quarter to face the sun. Yep. So BYU looking to get their offensive midfielders on the field. Monteith, Josh Austin, and Steve Nagley. And so the attack unit works the ball for just a moment while they get their offensive midfield line on. And now you've got Justin Heyer, gets it up to Austin. Austin on the wing, defended there by number 35. That's Black. Nagley defended there by Valencia. Now you've got Monteith. Going against the long stick, Daniel Fox. Monteith down the left side, tries to roll up top. Now he's trying to squeak it in the middle with a nice shot. Gets by Fox. Got double teamed there by Dodson. Able to get the shot off. And it goes wide. So Heyer now takes it for BYU. Defended there by number 27, Paul Arndt. Nice look by Heyer. Oh, wow. Great check. Monteith found that ball right in the front of the crease. Was wide open, but just didn't get the shot off. Oh, and there's Austin. Oh, Austin picked up the ground ball, gets it to Heyer. You know, he picked up the ground ball with his head up. And he didn't just get tunnel vision on the cage. Heyer was sitting. It was Heyer to score. Yep. And Heyer was just sitting on the cage, wide open. It was very, very heads up by Josh Austin. Well, and I like the finish as well. I mean, Heyer, you see, so Austin head up, finds Heyer, boom, and Heyer doesn't go high, doesn't try and match stick to the goalie, fakes Heyer, go low. Almost impossible for a goalie to save that shot. Very, very tough. Heyer acting like he's been there before. He understands how to fake out the goalie right here. It's a nice play. So BYU getting on the board early with some hustle there by Josh Austin. And you've got Watterson and Sutherland out there to face it off again. Tyler Saby, number 30 on the wing for BYU, and Elliot Groh on the far side. And Watterson comes up with that. Sutherland thought he had it popped out, runs forward. Watterson now taking it down, gets it off to Heyer. Heyer drops the ball, and Arndt comes up with it. Arndt loses his stick. Heyer picks it up, ground ball in front of the crease, can't hold it, and they're going to get a plane without the stick. So Arndt lost his stick and kind of tackled Heyer, and they're going to give it back to BYU. It's tough to
stay out of the play when your stick is on the ground. You just want to be part of the action. Great strip.
A lot of players coming on and off the field during that whistle, and BYU unable to capitalize on the opportunity with numbers. So Fox, the long stick midfielder, clears it and gets it checked the other way by Britton Cohn.
There's a lot of sticks on the field in this game.
Paul Davis going the other way for BYU, clearing the ball down the middle of the field, finds Elliot Groh down the left side. Elliot Groh with the left-hand dodge. He can shoot that, and he does, and scores! Elliot Groh, we featured him in the stand-up, and that's what Coach likes about him. Clears the ball, and he can finish.
You know, I was surprised. He's 1 goal, 1 assist on the season. I think he's going to add a lot to that tally. You know, in that situation, it was the right thing not to pass. He just got way too close to the cage to give it up.
Well, he is actually a natural left-hander, and I don't think people realize that as a defensive midfielder that he can finish. He was one of the leading point getters in the high school ranks last year in Utah, and just he can finish fantastic. I know firsthand he scored 8 goals against my high school team that I coached last year, so I've seen him.
Still haven't gotten over that one.
I have to remind him of it every time I see him.
That's 2 face-off draws for Illinois.
And both of them going back to BYU.
Yeah, that's true.
So they win the draw, but just can't get the ground ball, which is, you know, any coach will take it. That's why you have the wingmen out there fighting the way they do, so they can get those loose balls.
You know, one of the requirements on Coach Lamb, of Coach Lamb for midi defensemen is that they can get quite offensive, that they really understand how to run the break. Elliot Groh knows how to do that.
And then you've got Zach Davis, a former attackman, understands how to finish as well.
Certainly understands offense.
Well, now you've got Nathaniel Robinson, a freshman out of Jordan High School, who played attack in high school and played attack during the fall and is now playing defensive midfielder as well. So just, you know, looking for people that want to get active and want to play tough defense and that can finish. So now here's Ted Farron. Our first look at, oh, there's a beautiful look to Mark Davis. Farron to Davis.
It's a great play. Farron is so good laterally. Watch him in this replay, moving laterally.
Davis just getting behind his defender, Gainey.
There you go. Just a great redirection.
You know, as Pete Stevenson would say, you know, he's breaking ankles out there, going back and forth. It's hard to keep up with those cuts. He's got great balance when he plants that foot. He can just pivot off it so quickly.
Procedure blue, illegal face-off position, white ball.
And you've got illegal procedure called on Watterson for BYU. And it's going to go the other way to Illinois, Stephen Black. He's controlling the ball, and Coach Lamb calling for the double team is successful. Elliot Groh comes up with it momentarily, and Joe O'Malley ends up with it, going against Britton Cohn. And he throws it out of bounds. And with this short turf, it's going right out of bounds if you miss it.
Boy, it's a beautiful night here in Provo. Just great weather. Great temperature, what, about 65 degrees?
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic.
Couldn't be better.
In the field, you know, every time I look at this field, I go, boy, that's a beautiful field.
Somebody really cares about the lacrosse team here at BYU.
Yeah.
To let them play on this field. We made some friends in the administration.
I'm sure they're watching tonight, so. Here we go. There's Ted Farron, gets it over to Justin Heyer. And Heyer going against number 27, Paul Arndt. Paul Davis going against number 8, Dworzanski. I think I got that right. Oh, Jesse Curtis in the middle of the field, trying to come up with that one. Justin Heyer picks up the ground ball. Doesn't go in. Goalie saves it. Mark Davis shot. Goal.
That goes in. Did that bounce off of a Illinois player? There's an Illinois player on the field.
That's Gainey. I think we've got another look at this here, Charlie.
Let's see. It looked like it may have. No,
Gainey was down before that. I don't know.
Looks like he collided with the keeper.
Yeah. He's okay. It looks like he's going to stay in, but
with Ricuzzi.
Yep.
With Ricuzzi.
So BYU with 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes gone here in this game, up 4-0, and Illinois already kind of hanging their heads. And we're going to take a break here for just a minute. You're going to want to stick with us. We've got exciting lacrosse action coming up. Thanks. Hey, we welcome you back. BYU has jumped all over the Illini, 4-0 here in the early going of the first quarter. And you can see the Illini bench there. A little bit shell-shocked here in the early going. You've got Watterson and Sutherland out there again. Sutherland wins a draw, and Valencia comes up with it for the Illini. So they're doing a good job on the face-offs, but getting very little possession in the offensive end. And there's another example.
Yeah, a lot of turnovers for Illinois.
O'Malley just drops that ball, and now Lilliquist going the other way. Trying to find Watterson, and then Mark Davis tries to come up with it. Ball still loose. Ted Farron coming up with it for the attack. Gets it in the box. Dodges down to the left. Decides to hold it up. Little under dodge.
Nice strip.
And ball is picked up by Gainey, number 20 for the Illini. Mark Davis hounding him. And number 25, that's Dodson, just picks it up and does the old Gilman clear the other way. Tough to be successful with that at this level. And Monteith now ends up with it for BYU. Steps in the box, slows it down. Defended there by Rosansky.
You know, there's a time and a place for the Gilman. That wasn't the time and the place.
You know, I've often wondered how Gilman feels being associated with that clear these days.
I had someone explain to me the other day very nicely that Gilman was a high school in Maryland. I had to nod my head patiently. Oh, is that right? Really? But Gilman is a high school in Maryland, and that is who the clear is named for.
Here goes Tyler Monteith now, going against Dworzanski, number 8. Oh, it finds Ted Farron. Oh!
Great save.
Great save. And
boy, they needed that one.
that was a great look by Monteith, finding Ted Farron right on the doorstep, and the goalie does a great job. Farron tries to fake him a couple of times, and he doesn't bite. There's a nice job there by 35, Stephen Black taking the shot. Kikumoto with the save. You got a big pile in front of the crease.
And they're moving around under there.
Big pile. They're going to call a loose ball push on BYU, so that's going to go back to the Illini. Let's take another look at that Ted Farron shot. There's a nice feed there by Monteith right through the crease, and a great save here by Racuzzi.
You know, the guys in college, Farron's a freshman. The guys in college is just a little bit bigger, a little bit faster than in high school. If you're a high school player that's just dominated on that level, what Farron did, it takes a little while to get up to speed and realize some of those really special things you could do in high school, you're not going to get away with in college.
Kind of like that over-the-head check that Jordan Harris just tried.
Yeah, maybe.
So now Illini getting some possession, looking to work the ball a little bit. Schnitzer gets it over to Prescott. And Prescott, the big 6'4" attackman, going against Steve Nagley, 6'3" in his own right. There's O'Malley, number 31, looking for cutters, looking to feed.
Head up, always looking to pass.
O'Malley going against Lilliquist, number 22, senior out of Florida. And there's O'Malley, takes the shot and scores.
How about that? How about that?
Just as Coach Stevens indicated to you earlier, he wants O'Malley to shoot the ball a little bit more, and takes his first shot and scores here tonight.
Well, I think O'Malley's going to be able to do some damage here. He is a real nice player, and they need their star to just step up here. Now, the same storyline happened against Colorado State and UMD. BYU jumps out to a really fast start, and those two teams found a way to settle down and get back into the contest.
Yep.
That's what Illinois needs to find right now.
So a big bouncer there by O'Malley goes over the offside shoulder of Kikumoto, and we find ourselves at 4-1 with 8 minutes left. Watterson to Sutherland, and Sutherland comes up with it.
He's doing a nice job.
Yeah. Valencia comes up with it for the Illini, going against Zach Davis, number 2.
You know, this starting group from Illinois, all but their keeper are from Illinois. I think that's great.
Yeah. And there's another one, Valencia.
How about that?
Valencia cuts the lead to 2. The running right-handed shot gets it through Kikumoto. We're going to take another look at this shot here. Valencia dodges from the top, just right down the right side.
Just not enough defense.
I think good position there by Zach Davis, but looking for the slide to come, which never came.
Well, I'm not sure it was good position. He clearly had a step on him. I mean, Zach's got to move his feet a little bit more earnestly. He's got to get more into the game, to the flow of the game. He really gave him a lane there.
Sutherland and Monteith that time. And BYU coming up with it. Tyler Saby takes it in. Nice save there by Rakuzi.
Rakuzi settling in nicely.
Tries to go pick up that ball. Farron now splits his defenders. Looking for Monteith up top. Boom, big shot. And Rakuzi gets a good chunk of that one. Bounces over the top.
That side.
So Saby with a nice shot and a nice save by Rakuzi, and then Monteith with a nice shot. You can see the shot total there, Charlie, 7-4 so far in the early going.
Well, it's not as far apart as I thought it was going to be about 4 minutes ago.
And now you've got the third midfield line in there with Bryant Angelos and Jeremy Reif. And Ryan Angelos coming on as well, number 11.
Now, Monteith really likes the high shot. I don't think that I'm telling any secrets there. It's actually been a while since I've seen him put a shot on the ground. I think it would be a nice change of pace.
And Farron now back to Heyer. Heyer going against Arndt. Looking for cutters, trying to find Mark Davis. He steps in the crease. There's a play on, and it's going to go to the Illini on the sideline. So I'd agree with you. I think BYU, if they put some more shots on the ground, they're going to have a better chance here against Rakuzi.
You know, Coach Lamb over there with his hands on his head, I think a little bit frustrated. His team looked like they were just going to walk away with the first quarter, and Illinois has settled it down. I know that he considers that the BYU team is in the midst of a bit of a letdown right now. I'm not sure that's the case as much as Illinois is game for this contest.
So you've got an offsides on BYU, I think. Yeah, you've got an offsides against BYU, so it's going to go to Illinois. And there was a flag down. We'll see if they give him a 30-second technical here. I think they will, because I think Illinois had possession.
I think Illinois did have possession. I think they will.
There's a great shot of the flag.
It's a beautiful color.
Hate to see those colors on the ground.
I don't like seeing those colors on the ground. Blue. My perfect lacrosse game, the referees never throw a flag.
Yeah.
No, that's not true.
Wait till they have the coaches challenge in lacrosse. Boy, that'll be something, huh?
You know something? Is it coming? Have you heard?
No. I was joking with the refs the other day, though, that I was going to start challenging their calls. And there's a nice shot there by Stephen Black, number 35.
If there was a coaching challenge, University of Minnesota Duluth would have a couple of them last night, yeah. I think. I really do.
So here's Illini in a man-up situation. And there's a big shot there by Schnitzer, number 6. That's 15 Dodson. Gets it over to Andrew Cole.
Not a lot of pace on that shot.
No, Kikmoda able to eat that one up. And the penalty's been released. It's an all-even situation. And there's another shot there by Stephen Black.
There's a lot of pace on that shot. You know, I like that Illinois was able to fire off, what, about 4 shots in that possession right there in that 30-second man down. I like a team that does that.
And really in that transition period when the penalty's released but the player isn't quite on the field yet is always a dangerous time. Teams tend to let up a little bit. Oh, and there goes the ball out of bounds. That's Valencia. Just gets checked by Zach Davis as he makes the pass, and the ball pops right out of bounds. So the ball's going to go to BYU.
That was an important defensive stance for BYU.
And you've got Paul Davis now on the sideline. And welcome back to live action. There's Ryan Angelos, gets it over to Jeremy Reif, the third midfield line for BYU. He gets it over to Ted Farron. Farron over to Heyer. Heyer going against number 27, Arndt. And Heyer's going to work the dodge here, it looks like, from the wing. Split dodge down to GLE. Tries to go topside, can't get it. Nice defense there by Arndt.
I think that's a part of Justin Heyer's game that he needs to work on a little bit. His dodging has been a little erratic in the season. He's put up a lot of goals because he's a good finisher. When he puts together a successful drive, then he'll be a more complete player and I think a lot more dangerous.
And Bryant Angelos unable to handle that. He was getting worked there by Daniel Fox, the long stick midfielder.
Great check, another Another drop. I think we've seen about 5 or 6 drop sticks from Illinois so far.
And just hustle by Hire. Hire riding all the way to the midfield line, so young attackman, something to learn from. Don't give it up just because they're past you. Rode it all the way to the midfield line, got it back for BYU. Now Mark Davis is going to settle things down to bench. He's going against Gainey, number 20. Taking it to the same spot Hire was dodging from. And Mark Davis really likes this dodge from the wing. Just really kind of runs by his man. Now he's looking for cutters. Looking for the slide man. Very smart play. Good defense there by Illinois. And Davis had no options.
Well, it was very good defense. Mark Davis loves that dodge. He has a way of lulling the defenseman, I think, into a little bit of inactivity. And they forget where they are on the field. And then it's really a pretty easy angle for Mark Davis to take to the cage. It's a really odd move. I haven't seen anybody else really master that.
There's Farron. Oh, nice save there by Raccoon.
Great save.
Farron had a nice move, a great opportunity.
Great save by Racuzzi.
That's the second time he's stuffed Farron.
Well, he hasn't thrown a dodge, or he hasn't thrown a fade with the stick as he's gotten to the cage either time, and Racuzzi is up to that.
Fox gets it, tries to get it over to Prescott, and it goes out of bounds. So the crowd was reacting to a big hit there by Hire. The Hire put on Adam Costello. You see the shots and the saves there. 10 shots for BYU, 3 saves for Kikimoto, and 8 shots for Illinois, and 4 saves for Racuzzi.
Illinois is having a lot of trouble possessing the ball right now. They need to settle down, pass and catch, have a nice possession.
Folger getting it up to Austin. Very nice clear for BYU. Last night had a very high percentage of clears. They're doing a great job in the clears, and talking with Coach Lamb before the game, he was very happy with their clear percentage and their ride percentage, riding at about 50%.
They're so tough on the ride. Not sure what happened there.
Stick just fell out of his hands. And Josh
should be wearing the L35s. Enough with the fancy gloves.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the canvas and leather.
Cut the palms out.
Cut the palms out. Let's go back to the L35s. You won't drop your stick.
That's right. Or just get some stickum like Lester Hayes. All right, here's BYU. Josh Austin at the top of the box. And he finds Negley at the point. Going against Grzanski. Negley's got a big right-handed shot. You see it right there. Oh, wow.
A little balancing act.
Yeah. Racuzzi is in great position, makes a great save. It kind of popped over his head. It almost dropped in the goal.
This freshman, Racuzzi, is having the game so far for Illinois. Keeping him close, keeping him in it. I hope he gets a lot of recognition from his team in any break here coming up.
And Illinois sloppy on the passing, almost intercepted there by Folger. Yeah. Dodson, number 15, going against Folger.
Settle down, boys. Settle down.
Throws it out of bounds as well.
Yep. These guys can play. They can pass and catch. They're just a little bit rattled. They're playing away.
BYU took the early lead at 4-0. Illinois come back with 2 goals with 49 seconds left here in the first quarter. And O'Malley going against Monteith. He's got the short stick on him. He's wanting to make a move, but Monteith's playing it very, very tough. And he gives it up to Schnitzer, number 6.
I would get back to O'Malley. That is exactly the matchup that they're looking for.
Schnitzer tries to go behind the back. I don't know if that was a shot or a pass, but either way, it was very ineffective. And BYU's going the other way. Harris was looking for a streaking Negley, couldn't find him. Hire comes up the loose ball with 16 seconds left here in the quarter. Hire going against number 44, Howlett, takes the left-handed shot, bounces outside. Mark Davis picks it up, 10 seconds left. Can they get another shot off? The bench is counting it down. Davis tries to pass it through to Farron, gets knocked down, and the quarter's gonna end. So, as you mentioned, Charlie, a similar story here that we've had the last couple of games. BYU goes out early, and they go out in dominance, and they let the other team back in. So, a lot of lacrosse left to be played here. We're going to be right back with the second quarter with the score of 4-2. Hey, you can take another look here at that last save there by Racuzzi. Great position, and you can see it just bounce off the top of his head. He had a beat on it. He knew where it was the whole time. As a goalie, though, you see those bounces, and you turn around and try and find that really quick. There's the Minnesota Duluth team. that has been out here. They played Colorado State here a couple days ago, and BYU last night. And you can see the save total. So Rakuzi with 6 saves so far.
Yeah, that's nice.
Great job.
I'll tell you what, I would not want to run into those Duluth guys in a dark alley.
Do they play Utah while they're here?
I don't know. I hope so. I meant to check their schedule and see. That would be a very interesting game. Utah is a team that I think is worth watching closely this year, with Mason Goodhand leaving to go to a very good Westminster program now. They're a longtime coach, but there's a lot of talent in the state that's heading into the University of Utah. I hope they can sustain the rise that they've had over the last little while.
There goes Zach Davis with the big left-handed shot, goes over the cage. So again, Zach Davis and Elliot Groh clearing and shooting. Mark Davis now settles it down for BYU. Gets it up to his brother Paul. Paul's going to step in the box. And going against number 29 there, that's Joseph Kankarts.
The Davis brothers, Adam, Matt, Mark, have all told me that they think that Paul is the best player in the family and will develop into being the best player in the family. That's a scary thought.
Well, Paul, freshman, just recently returned off of a mission. And if he's the best, that is a scary thought. There's another bouncer that goes over the top of the cage that time for Rakuzi. Because it's been the Davis family has been a great contributor to BYU Lacrosse, starting with Adam and his brother Matt, and now Mark and Paul. So
Coach Lamb wondering why that whistle was blown when BYU clearly had a beat on the ball, and with the play-on rule, probably should have had a longer possession before the penalty was called. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. This play-on call is so subjective.
Right.
You got to figure out how each officiating crew is going to call that play-on. Now we should watch the next one to see if he just forgot the rule and is going to apply it the way that it's currently written, or if they're going to be short on their whistles.
Coach Lamb trying to get an explanation from the referee.
No, there's no good explanation. I mean, we've seen play on go on for 30, 40 seconds, minute, maybe longer on some officiating crews on much less of a change of possession than that appeared to be.
Right. My understanding is either out of the box or a complete change of possession where Illinois would have possession. That's when the whistle gets blown. And so another pile in front of the cage. Rakuzi trying to get rid of it. Gets it over to Gainey. Gainey just throws it upfield again.
That almost works.
Gankars tries to come up with it.
That's not a high percentage clear. It works in this situation, but that's not a high percentage.
Brzezinski going against Monteith. A nice speed dodge down the left side of the field. And they're going to get a loose ball push. So I think that it's a little bit late, and they're going to give it back to Illinois.
Much like last night, if you're Coach Stevens, you are not unhappy with what's happened so far. And we are now into the second quarter, and this game is still tight. This is developing exactly the way he would like.
Cole gets it back to Schnitzer, number 6. Schnitzer going against the short stick. Austin wants to take him. Just tries that wraparound dunk shot.
Too much one-on-one. You got other guys on the field that can play.
And that's really a low percentage shot, Charlie. I mean,
yeah, it was. Now it's going to take some spectacular plays for Illinois to stay in this thing, and they can hit them. These guys have some skill.
And there goes Britton Cohn. Nice clear. Oh. Tries a face dodge. Fox equal to the task for Illinois. The ball is still loose. Cohn still fighting for it.
It's a good hit by Farron.
And Dodson tailing it out of bounds. It's going to go to BYU.
Just couldn't hold the line back there.
So Farron going against Dodson now at X. Mark Davis going against Gainey. Gets it back to Farron. And now you've got Heyer going against Arndt. Corey Gunderson, freshman out of Jordan High School. In on the, looks like they've got another midfield line. Jesse Curtis, number 38.
And I like Gunderson. He's a very unselfish player. You know, it's unusual for a freshman to understand the team concept as well as Gunderson does.
Jesse Curtis in on this second line for Grant Cotterill. Grant Cotterill in street clothes today, must have some injury from yesterday. And Jesse Curtis out of Brighton High School. Oh, there's a nice quick shot by Farron, but hits Rakuzi right in the face.
And Farron loves that shot, but he's another guy that needs to put the ball on the ground.
Wow, Rakuzi's keeping Illinois in the game.
He's a good goalie. Rakuzi can play, true freshman.
And Mark Davis going to slow it down.
He's fired up too. I like this guy.
He has made some great saves so far here today. And here goes Jesse Curtis, freshman out of Brighton High School. Dodge to the right, looking for that throwback pass to Paul Davis. Paul Davis with the face dodge. Still has the ball on his stick, but cannot get rid of it. Picks up the ground ball, spins.
Move the rock, buddy.
And just need to get rid of that ball. And can't quite
We're seeing some of that physical Illinois defense.
And they're going to get a hold. So it's going to go back to BYU. There's Davis kind of saying, yeah, my fault, I got to get rid of it. Take a look at some of this rough play out there. Paul Davis taking a shot.
Terrific hit. Give it up for Phil Dodson. Nice hit on that ground ball.
And higher now, going against Arndt. Bottom left wing. And as you mentioned, Charlie, dodging probably not quite where he needs it to be right now.
Great finisher. He's a great finisher. But I think he needs to understand that a little more. Move more off the ball.
Oh.
Wow. Mark Davis.
And like you said, Charlie, that was a perfect example where he kind of just lulled his defender to sleep. I mean, he wasn't moving real fast, and then all of a sudden turns and shoots.
He does it all the time. He resets his defender above goal line extended, above GLE. The defender may not realize where he is on the field, and bam!
See, he's almost stopped right there.
Bam! He's got a lane right there.
And Mark Davis doesn't need much of a lane. He just went over the inside shoulder there of Rakuzi.
You're playing Mark Davis, okay? So it's tough to focus on the job right in front of you. He's so capable of dodging that you just lose your place on the field.
Yeah. Watterson winning that draw. Elliot Groh getting hung up there, but Valencia coming up with it for Illinois. And Groh right on him. Really riding him hard. Elliot Groh really hounding Valencia behind the cage. Talking with Coach Lamb a little bit before the game, he really felt like maybe he was throttling the team a little bit and concentrating on some of the negative turnovers and things like that. So he really wanted them to come out aggressive on defense, and we can see that here so far in this game.
They seem to be extending a little bit more than they did last night, but I don't think that any of the problems on this team are defensive. Kikumoto's been playing great. The defense has been limiting teams to under 10 goals, which is nice. You'd like to see it maybe in the 5 and 6 range is exceptional, but they've been keeping really good teams into the 7 to 9 range, and that's doing your job if that's the defense.
And that was Stephen Black with a left-handed shot, went wide.
Really didn't set his feet on that shot, and you can see it went wide. He didn't have the right positioning, right balance for that shot. He didn't get much pace on it, and it wasn't accurate.
So you've got O'Malley going against Lillenquist. Lillenquist in there for Preston Folger. Black now, defended there by Watterson on the wing.
Watterson, a high school All-American out of North Carolina. Went directly on to an LDS mission after high school, and now he's back, getting back in shape, getting back into the flow of the game.
Let's pass it over to Jerem Jordan on the sideline with a little more info on Coach Stevens from the University of Illinois.
That's right, thanks, Marty. A.J. Stevens actually lived in Utah when he was younger, Moab, West Valley a little bit. Then he moved to the Midwest when he was a little bit older. Now he's in his second year with the Illini program. They had a pretty good year last year. Right now they're 4-4, but he feels they've amped up the schedule. They're playing tougher opponents, one of those, BYU.
Thanks, Jerem. Let's take a look at this replay on this goal. It's number 7, Grisco. And, oh, just sneaks by.
Barely makes it in.
Seemed to have a beat on it.
Bounced back out. How about that?
Yep.
Again, you got to be happy if you're Coach Stevens.
Yeah, you're down by 2 goals in the second quarter to BYU.
Yeah, middle of the second quarter, you're hanging in this thing. You know, his team is going to believe at halftime his pick-me-up speech. I mean, they're going to come out fired up.
That's number 12, Tyler Keller, clearing for the Illini. Gets it up to O'Malley, number 31. 14, Cole, going against Tyler Monteith, number 5 for BYU. Cole going to the middle with the left. See if he dodges to the outside right. There he goes.
Big guy.
Great position there by Kikumoto. Cole was just losing angle as he went down, so good defensive position there by Monteith, and Kikumoto just held his pipe.
You know, Cole wanted to shoot, and he just took a few too many steps.
Kikumoto looks up, finds Zach Davis. The pass is a little low.
Dangerous pass.
Monteith goes up the field to Tyler Saby. And the 2 long stick midfielders fighting for it there, Fox and Saby. Saby comes away with it. And we're going to probably get a moving pick on BYU. Oh, failure to advance. Did not step in the box.
It's a good call.
Hey, let's pass it over to Jerem Jordan on the sideline once again. Jerem?
Yeah, just continuing thought on Coach Stevens. Pretty good year. Well, last year was good. They're 500 right now, but they've amped up the schedule. They played 8 of the preseason top 25 teams on the schedule, 7 of which are on the road, including BYU tonight. So he feels that all but the one returning starter that they brought back have gained valuable experience last year, and they hope to continue to apply that this year. Back to you guys.
Great, thanks, Jerem.
You know, the top teams in this league have been doing that for a while, and this, you know, the so-called second-tier teams, the teams that are just on the bubble of being good, and I think Illinois is clearly one of those teams. They figured it out too. They got to get out there and play these really good teams, or else they're going to get into the tournament and not know what to expect and lose lopsided games.
Right.
Illinois isn't going to be like that anymore. They understand the top quality in the tournament.
Now there's Schnitzer going against Zach Davis.
Great check.
Jordan Harris comes over and just takes the stick away.
Back check.
And Zach Davis moving up the field. The one-man clearing machine. And Zach Davis finding Britton Cohn, finding Ted Farron. Ball goes over the top. Justin Heyer comes up with it. Now Mark Davis. Great ball movement, just unable to finish for BYU.
Well, there's a lot of goal there for Ted Farron. He was, what, about 3 feet off of the cage, and again he went high.
Right.
And I love Ted. I think he is a nice player, but he's got to start putting his shots down a little bit.
He'd probably have 2 more goals tonight if he went low.
Probably.
And here's Nagley. And Heyer's going to settle it down just a little bit. Farron going against Martin. Josh Austin gets it over to Nagley. Defended there by Costello, number 9. Nagley's got a big running shot. And there's a nifty little shot.
It's a pretty fancy shot. And I know he loves it. He elevates, he plants his foot, he elevates, he goes high. It was beautiful.
Yeah, and the thing about that, Charlie, if you look at this replay here, is he hit it hip off stick side. I mean, just a goal. I mean, that's just tough right there for the goalie to get that stick over.
I don't think the goalie's going to get there. It's just a real tight window that he's shooting. I mean, he's looking for that angle a lot of the time. It's beautiful. I mean, there's a wow factor on that shot. That should be on a highlight reel. But the problem is he's putting it in a pickle jar there.
Yeah.
And if he goes low, he's got about 20 pickle jars to hit instead of the one.
It's a pickle barrel.
It's a pickle barrel. That's exactly right. It's a full barrel of kosher sours. My favorite kind.
Well, and we should have some pickle barrels around here at BYU. I know the football team drinks pickle juice like it's going out of style for cramps, so you know, we got to have some pickle barrels.
I hate to say it, but I've never seen a quality pickle barrel in Utah County. Not one. There's only one good deli sandwich in town. It's Gandolfo's.
I was going to say, you don't even see him at Gandolfo's.
No, you don't. You know, he's bringing them in from, he's got the boar's heads that he's bringing in, and he's doing a nice job with the pickle. That's it. Flag down here.
Oh, Lillenquist takes a shot to the head. Valencia just lets that one fly wide, and Kevin Lillenquist took that right in the head. Take a look at this shot here, just lets it fling. Boom. And Kevin's going to take a break for a minute.
Jeez Louise. He's not going to hear anything for a little while.
Taking one for the team right there.
He's got a smile on his head, but...
Coach Schneck, are you okay, Kevin? You all right?
What'd you say, Coach? I didn't hear you.
So Murphy Smith on the penalty, and Illinois going to get a man-up opportunity. BYU leading 6-3 with about 5 minutes left here in the second quarter. And Illinois hanging close, but
can't do that.
Throwing that one away.
You can't do that. That's the
BYU's giving you the opening, and you don't take advantage of the opportunity.
You know, I'm not sure that Illinois is going to make the tournament this year, and I'm not sure that this trip and the schedule they're playing is targeted really for them to make the tournament this year, but to teach them the important lessons that you cannot do that on the road against the #2 team in the country, and it's just too much of a mistake. You can't set BYU up for possessions, just throwing the ball away.
And that was just too easy for Zach Davis. I mean, Zach Davis going against Joe O'Malley.
Down the middle of the field.
Running right down the middle of the field. Finds Mark Davis. Mark Davis with a big shot, goes wide, but Zach Davis just needs to beat one man to run down a wide open field.
Well, Illinois is having trouble in that situation defending just a textbook fast break. It's absolutely, when you teach the 6-year-olds how to run a fast break, that's what you do.
Justin Heyer with a big shot hits Ted Farron, and I'm not sure how they called that to Illinois because Ted Farron was behind the player when it went out, but nonetheless going to the Illini, and just a big lob pass. Jeremy Reif didn't see it. It was to Schnitzer. Schnitzer going against Reif. Gets hung up there a little bit. And who comes up with it but Britton Cohn?
Yeah, you can't throw that pass in the general area of Britt Cohn.
And Nathaniel Robinson now going the other way. Decides to slow it down. Very smart, heady player out of Jordan High School. Another freshman contributor for BYU.
Yeah, no kidding. Britt Cohn, another player in a long line of BYU defensemen, really good at picking off the pass. Aaron Quiggle, Dave Garf, so good at that kind of play.
Oh my goodness! And look at Ryan Angelos.
Not right.
Wow, he was just too open.
Was there a whistle?
He was too open.
I don't understand that play.
That's the wide receiver in the end zone with nobody around him who drops the ball because he's too open.
And this defense is billed as a hitting defense. Well, there was your opportunity.
Wow.
They must have thought the play was stopped. Boy, are these Gilman clears design clears?
I don't know, but it's not. You don't see that.
Clear.
Yeah, it's not at this level. So now here is Brian Angelos the other way. Bryant, the younger of the two. Both out of Upper Arlington High School. Out of Columbus, Ohio. Columbus, Ohio. So Bryant over to Ryan Angelos, and Ryan's going to take Costello down the left side. Dumps it off to Heyer, number 6. Gets it back up to Ryan Angelos, number 11. Who's up to his brother, Bryant, number 19.
Cougars drop into the 1-4-1.
Going against number 8, Dworzanski. And Illinois defends that nicely. O'Malley coming up with it at midfield, going against Jordan Harris.
Here's their guy.
And look at the position there and the stick work of Jordan Harris.
Nice footwork.
Just moving his feet, doesn't take an unnecessary crazy check to get himself out of position. And young defenders should watch that and look at that. You take a look at the turnovers here. Illinois 9-4.
Too many turnovers. Coach Stevens needs to really stress safe passes, smart passes, possessing the ball. If Illinois can do that, 6-3 is not an unreasonable deficit to come back from here.
Absolutely not. We've seen it done the last 2 games where BYU's got out to that early lead and then they've kind of settled in and maybe have not been a little as aggressive, maybe get a little complacent, a little bit tight, and have let their opponents come back into the game. So there's the crowd. We've got a good crowd for a Friday night, a couple hundred strong. University of Minnesota Duluth team. Looks like we've got a high school team or 2 over there in the stands as well. So there's Coach Pete Stevenson getting his offensive unit going. And I don't know if you've noticed, Charlie, in these huddles, you got Coach Stevenson in there with the attack, and the midfielders, the offensive unit, Coach Neck with the defense, and Coach Lamb stepping back just a little bit. You can take a look here at the at halftime. We're going to have Coach Lamb at half, and then we're going to have a feature back by popular demand about All-American swimmer Brett Allen, and then we'll come back with halftime stats as well. So you're going to want to stay with us in about 2 minutes. Illinois has got an opportunity here.
Great check.
And
Simple check. Nice poke. Stay on your hands. Not going for the stick. You're going for the gloves.
And Elliott Groth, a nice defensive session there.
Brickone is great on the clears.
Gets it up to Mark Davis, who had plenty of separation and just waltzes into the box. Gets it to Ted Farron as BYU switches and gets their offensive and defensive players on and off the field. Tyler Saby just playing games with his man, runs on, runs off, and what that does is it allows Tyler Monteith to come on uncontested with the big shot.
It's the post.
Great strategy there by BYU, running their man off, then faking the man off, keeping him on, and then running him off, and having the Illini player have to run back and forth. Allowed Tyler Monteith to come free on the re-entry.
Elliott Gross still on the field, defensive midi. Looking for a substitution. That's a lot of running for that young man.
It's all right, he's young. He's up for it.
Oh, great look.
There's some nice looks. They're going to get Farron in the crease if it doesn't go Illinois' way. And looks like they've called off the play on. Ted Farron gets the garbage.
Not sure I understand calling that off. You don't look for the flow of the game to make your call, do you?
I don't think so.
I think if there's a violation, you have to change the possession right there.
Because I think they must have felt that Illinois had their opportunity and lost it back to BYU. But there's Farron, just picks it out of the air. Boom.
Again, the game isn't there for the referees to call subjectively.
Right.
The violation happens, you call it. I don't think that you can say, wait a second, I'm going to wait to see if this works out better for Illinois than the penalty.
Right. So Watterson to Sutherland, back in the middle. Watterson figuring it out a little bit. And Harris coming up. Both Harris and Folger. There goes Folger. He'll shoot it. Tries to get over to Farron. Overshoots him. And it's going to call the pass. Going to go back to Illinois.
You know, Harris is a thick guy, and he's kind of a wide body, but he moves really well.
He is surprisingly fast. I've yet to see an attackman this year beat him with just pure foot speed. And he handles his stick so well. He's not taking crazy checks. He's just in great body position.
He's got a great handle on his stick. He's going to be missed next year, I'll tell you that.
As will his Denver Broncos stick.
He's got the
blue and the orange.
The blue and the orange. He's a believer. He's a true believer.
Well, you know, they got Jake Cutler now, so Plummer's retired, you know, they're going to go. And here he goes the other way. And as time runs out, Jordan Harris takes a shot.
Is that a goal? It left his stick before the... I've never seen that before.
I don't think it's like in basketball.
It's not like in basketball? Why is it not like in basketball? I'm not aware of any rule. Is it written in the rule book?
I believe it's when it crosses the line, yes.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure, but I believe that is the goal. But there's Racuzzi. He's had a great...
I want a ruling on that. I am not convinced that's the case.
I think we can get with the referees during the half. We're going to actually, I think we've got a replay on this here, Charlie.
Okay, well, when he shoots this, there's a second at least on the clock.
Yeah. So he throws it up in the air, and boom.
Now, actually, I think that is a penalty.
Yeah, throwing your stick
like that.
But again, if the horn had sounded and he threw a stick, then it was a dead ball anyway. So
Coach Lamb is over there arguing the point.
He's trying to ask.
I want him to open up the rule book and show me when where it says that that's not a goal.
Now, the coach can ask for an official ruling. If he feels like something has been misinterpreted, let's actually see if we can listen in to what they're talking about.
Just explain to me what you're supposed to do.
We were calling off the horn. We were calling off the horn.
You were, but he wasn't.
I was saying no horn. I was saying no horn.
Okay,
because
we should have killed it. I know, but if you say there's not supposed to be a horn, let me explain. If he explains, he says there's not supposed to be a horn, and I didn't call it. Maybe he did. Maybe it doesn't matter who called it. They screwed up. So what's the right thing
can't quite hear what they're saying, but we're very interested. They're definitely discussing, was it a goal, was there a horn, and maybe even the goalie throwing his stick. I mean, I think Coach Lamb is interested in all those points.
No, he's not. Coach Lamb is down there saying, talk to me, Goose. Talk to me, Goose.
What were you doing exactly? Well, we were communicating.
International relations.
International relations.
Nobody that's younger than... Nobody younger than 35 knows what we're talking about.
I held something back there, Maverick. I couldn't tell them. So there's our crowd. We're going to take a break as the referees continue to discuss this point. Looks like they've come to some decision. We'll bring you that decision in just a minute. Stay with us for halftime. BYU leads 7-3. Hey, welcome back. Boy, what does the lacrosse team get, Charlie? Keychain?
A little bit more than that now. Look at all the gear they get.
I know, they've got great sponsors now, which is fantastic. Hey, let's take a look at the halftime stats here. Certainly BYU dominating in shots.
Not on face-offs. So they got a nice face-off rhythm going for Illinois. Boy, BYU was riding beautifully. Illinois is only running 50% on their clears, and look at BYU's clears, 21
100%.
My goodness. You know, keeper for Illinois playing real well. Rakowski.
Rakuzi.
It's all right. Man, I'm having trouble with your name, dude. I'm sorry. Rakuzi. And lots of turnovers for Illinois.
But Rakuzi's really kept them. I mean, I think he's kept Illinois in the game where he's made some real nice saves. I mean, it's 7-4. Illinois came back, you know, cut the deficit to 2 twice. And BYU's kind of jumped back out a little bit, taking the momentum. But, you know, if BYU's not careful, they let Illinois hang around, they could end up in the same situation that they had with CSU and Duluth. So we're going to take another break. We're going to be right back with Coach Lamb. Stick with us. Hey, welcome back. We've got Jerem Jordan on the sideline with Coach Lamb. Jerem?
Thanks, Marty. Coach, tell us what happened there at the end of the half. A shot goes in. What did the refs tell you what happened?
I already knew what the ruling on that is. It has to go in before the clock goes 0. So it's kind of like basketball, or maybe no, basketball is when you shoot it. But anyway, lacrosse is it has to cross the goal line before time expires. So, you know, he shot it, time went off. I knew it wasn't going to be a goal. I actually had questions about some other things.
Oh, okay. All right. Clears, they're about 50%. You're about 100. How is that affecting the game, doing that so well?
Well, that's a key point for us. If we can't do a lot of things right, maybe we can do one thing right. And so if we're going to ride hard, maybe that's our success for the day. So,
well, good luck in the second half, and thank you.
Thanks, Jerem.
See you. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Jerem. And talked to Coach Lamb a little bit before the game, and he really was talking about the percentages that BYU is riding and clearing, and they've been clearing in the high 80s, low 90s in their clear percentage. So at 100%, they're doing what they've been doing well, and then riding. They've been riding at 50% over the season. So they're right on their averages, which really just goes to show those are 2 areas in which BYU's game has really excelled.
It's a part of the game that isn't quite emphasized as much as it should be.
Absolutely.
And the good teams are pushing on improving in that part of the game. I love that Coach Lamb focuses on rides and clears.
I think one area that's been a little bit of a disappointment, or at least a surprise, is the face-offs. I mean, they did not do well in face-offs yesterday. They're not doing well today. Based on some of the performances early on in the season in the fall, I think they expect a little bit better performance at the face-off X, and it's just not quite happening for them.
Yeah, that's a surprise, but I'll tell you something else. For a team that is riding and clearing as well as they are, which obviously translates into possessions, 7-3. It's a pretty tight score. So
yeah, and I think Coach Stevens has got to be happy with the fact that his team is only 4 down. They've made a couple of runs here. They've been able to get back into it, and another 2 goals, and it's a new game. So they've got to be not too disappointed with where they're at right now. On this faceoff, Zach Davis trying to come up with the ground ball, and nobody really wanting to scoop through. And we're going to get a loose ball push, and it's going to go to BYU. So Zach Davis clearing it for BYU. Defended there by Valencia. Zach Davis taking it right down to the hoop with a nice shot. And Rakuzi equal to the task. So another big save.
Boy, they've got something in Rakuzi. They're going to have 4 exciting years with him playing in the pipes. I like him.
Yeah, he has played a great game here tonight. Gainey gets it up to O'Malley. O'Malley defended there by Harris. Double team by Cone. Cohn slides back onto his man, Prescott, the big attackman.
That was a nice job of Illinois settling it down and getting into their offense.
Prescott just wings it to the cage. Probably not the best shot in that scenario.
No, it's the wrong shot in that scenario.
And O'Malley tries to come up with it, and Britton Cohn knocks him out of bounds, so it's going to go right back to BYU. Yeah, Prescott didn't have any angle, just tries to wing it with the right hand, and Kikamoto was right there, but it did hit the pipe.
Yeah, they worked too hard to get into their possession for that shot. When you're in your 6-on-6, you want to get a couple of nice shot opportunities, back it up, assert yourself a little bit, and they just...
And there's Monteith to Heyer with the shot and the goal, and Heyer takes a shot too.
Took a big hit. He took a big hit.
And Heyer's going to come off the field. Jerem Wynn's going to take his place, but Monteith finding Heyer. Monteith's found that pass 2 or 3 times tonight where he's coming down the left side of the field and finds the far side attackman just sitting on the crease, wide open.
Yeah, I think Heyer took a pull across the ribs on that one. I don't think it was as much that he took a shoulder to knock him down, but you have to do that as a defenseman. You really do, legally, of course, but you cannot let the attackman get comfortable with uncontested shots.
See, and to me, Charlie, those are the two differences in success. Is both teams are working hard to clear the ball. Illinois works hard, they clear the ball, the attacker goes down, takes a bad shot, turns it right back over. BYU, they convert, they execute, they take the chance, but they execute and get the goal.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. I mean, that was a very good shot that Heyer took. It was the right shot.
And so now, Rakuzi going the other way, hounded there by Farron.
Showing some athleticism, too.
Absolutely. And Prescott coming up with it. And
very impressive.
Britton Cohn goes down, trying to hang in there. O'Malley handling it for Illinois, hounded there by Elliott Groh. And BYU with a 10-second call. Elliott Groh goes and takes the ball. He's just going to go right to the hole. Ready to play. He's going to go right to the hole. Nobody picks him up. Here's a big shot. And there's a goal.
That, holy moly.
You can't. That is I've seen that shot too many times.
Yeah, he lulls you to sleep. You know that he's looking to convert there.
The thing that I really liked about that, though, is he took the ball, showed the referee blew the whistle, and he took off. Illinois was waiting. They didn't even pick him up.
I don't know what his grades are, but he's a smart kid. Seriously, he's got to have good grades. He plays very intelligently on the field.
Well, it's like you said, he's a point guard. He was an all-state point guard in basketball. Here's Elliott Groh with a shot.
Where's the defense?
Oh, it's a beautiful shot, too. Just right in the corner.
Just hits that corner.
But yeah, nobody picked him up. So great things there. What do you teach a midi? On a fast break, if nobody picks you up, you take the shot. So many times they're looking for the pass because they're either scared to shoot or don't know what to do. And Elliott Groh puts it away. You can see BYU doubling up Illinois in shots.
I don't know if there's a pattern developing here. I think there is. That BYU seems to do, this season's team seems to play very well at the beginning of the first quarter and the beginning of the third quarter.
Yes.
This is the BYU put together a run against Sonoma at the beginning of the third quarter that was really impressive. Doing the same thing against Illinois here.
And that's how they've won games, is they get out to a lead. Teams seem to come back in the second quarter, then they get out to a big enough lead in the third quarter that it holds off.
Well, it holds off because the Cougars have a very good defense this year, and they understand how to simply limit teams' effectiveness in the fourth quarter. UMD just could not make that run because the defense wouldn't let it back in. You have to give BYU some credit on that win last night. It was a hard-fought win. It was a great game. Love UMD's team, and I give them a lot of props also.
They're going to make some noise as the season goes on.
Man. Nobody wants to see them in the tournament. They're a tough team.
So Farron now for BYU gets it up to Negley, the first midfield line of Negley, Austin, and Monteith in. Monteith going against Sutherland, number 22. Just steps in the box. He's going to bring it up top, and he's going to look to dodge. Dangerous dodger because he can go either way. Has a big shot both right and left, and here's that left. Decides to pass it down to Farron. Just pops out of his stick. Jerem Wynn's coming up with that one and pops it out of bounds.
Sloppy play, sloppy play. 2 hands on the ball, 2 hands picking it up.
If you pick that up with 2 hands, it doesn't go out of bounds.
That's exactly right. Simple as that.
Sometimes players, they just lose focus. They're maybe a little bit careless and just don't take care of the ball. It's a precious thing. Your team works too hard to get the ball into the offensive zone to just throw it away. And I'm speaking to my high school team, hoping that they're listening.
Bountiful. Bountiful, Utah. Marty, you wear a lot of hats. Head coach, Bountiful.
Too many hats, according to my wife. Oh, and hi, dear, if you're listening. So we've got Preston Folger taking the ball on the sideline for BYU. Finding Tyler Monteith coming to the ball. Again, good technique
Great
there.
pivot.
He came to the ball.
Yep.
Didn't wait for the pass.
Nice hits. Nice hits.
Yep, Monteith, one too many dodges.
It is a physical defense they have.
Big scrum in the middle there. Get the ball out. And Mark Davis comes up with the loose ball.
With 2 hands.
And he's going against Gainey. And just runs by him. Wow. It's a nice shot.
Too easy. Too easy. Don't give up on this, Illinois. You still got a lot of time on the clock. They just don't seem to be tracking BYU's attack very well.
Well, you've got the shifty Farron out there, and then Davis, who, like you've mentioned, just kind of lulls you to sleep, and he runs right by you. And we got Jerem Wynn in there for Hire. Hire went down with a little injury. Don't know if we'll see him again. Josh Austin now dodges the right, trying to find Wynn on the crease, just can't connect. And ball rolls out of bounds. It's going to go to Illinois. So
looked like that may have been a missed assignment by BYU's attack, simply not rotating to the place where they need to be. Everyone was kind of flat-footed, watching Wynn dodge, and the offense really needed to get in a position to convert.
That wasn't Jim Davis on the sideline there, was it?
It very well could be Jim Davis on the sideline.
Father of the Davis brothers.
The famous.
So Illinois trying to clear, and they just almost lose it out of bounds. You got Dodson.
Getting
Dodson just gets
getting
hit.
boxed in.
Wow, that's
not smart. Right
that
to the middle of the
not
field.
smart.
Not smart.
And now Farron in the open field takes the flag, doesn't get the shot off, comes all the way around, takes the shot, and goes low, and just bounces off the pipe. So BYU's going to be man up, but Dodson here gets stuck right at the midfield line.
I think Farron passed up a pretty terrific shot right there.
Yeah. And that one went wide off the post.
I mean, he took a nice shot, but he gave up a better shot.
Yeah. He was moving quick, probably just didn't have his stick quite in the right hand, and
all that stuff is going to click. I mean, this is a good game for Farron to develop and work. Illinois has a nice defense. He's going to get a lot of touches in this game because of the possessions that BYU's coming up with. And this would be a nice game for him to develop as a player in.
So BYU, man up. And they've got Tyre over here on the right side with the big left-handed shot. He scored a goal there last night. And now they're bringing him up. And boy, was Mark Davis wide open there on the crease.
Wide open, but it was a terrific save.
And here goes Jordan Harris the other way, gets it to Monteith. And Monteith again, there's that crossfield pass. And Hire picking that one out of there. That crossfield pass finds Farron sitting at the crease, pops it over to Hire.
Well, that's where Hire was so dangerous, just hanging out by the crease. He's a great finisher. That's a classic Justin Hire goal.
And so Farron, again, goes high. Rakuzi has the nice save. You know, so he stuffed Farron 3 or 4 or 5 times tonight, but Hire was able to pick that one out of the air and finish it.
Yeah, Rakuzi's having a great game. I mean, he is. He's sure he's given up 10 goals. We're now, in the middle of the third quarter. That's too many goals, but that's not on him.
Without him, it's 16.
There's no question. He saved a lot. He saved a lot of shots he shouldn't have saved.
There's a nice face-off there by Sutherland, number 22.
That's pretty.
Gets it to Dodson. Dodson over to Gainey.
Illinois, I think they have the players. I think they have the athletes. And they have pretty decent sticks. I just think they need to adjust to the speed of the game at its highest level in the MCLA.
And they are having some trouble clearing the ball. That was evidence right there. Dobson tried to get it to Gainey. Gainey throws it out of bounds. And BYU's riding hard, but I just think Illinois is having a little bit of trouble on their own.
I'm a little surprised. I think it probably at this point in the season they should have their clear packages all set. Maybe they do, and they're just not executing them well. BYU's ride is really tough. You got to give BYU credit up for riding so hard. But I just get the sense that Illinois needs to understand they got to work harder. They got to want it more. They've got to hit just a little bit harder. They got to pass it a little faster. They just need to pick up the pace of their game, and I think they're capable of that. I see some talent out on the field for Illinois.
And you've got Paul Davis now at the top of the second midfield line for BYU. Davis rolls over to the left. Now he's going to roll back. Oh, had Gunderson there. What a face dodge. Ball gets checked out of his stick toward the goal. Farron comes up with it. Maybe held on to it for a second too much. Oh, Gunderson missed that stick.
What a great idea from Farron.
Farron just finds Gunderson right in front of the crease.
It was a great cut by Gunderson.
There's a nice hit there by Mark Davis on Dodson. Now you've got Wrzanski going the other way. Finding number 15, Dodson.
Smart timeout. I think it's a very smart timeout by Coach.
Illinois Coach Stevens going to settle it down a little bit. Maybe get an opportunity, set a play up here, get a score, cut this deficit to 6 maybe. We're going to be right back. We've got 7:37 left here in the third quarter. Hey, welcome back. We've got a score of 10-3. Illinois has possession with 7:37 left here in the third quarter. You could see the, I believe that was the Skyview High School team down here watching the game. And there's a nice shot there by Illinois. But there's a local high school tournament going on this weekend at Jordan High School Beat Digger. And Skyview coming down from, I believe they're up in Logan. And they're coming down, so they probably took the opportunity to come see some good college lacrosse here this weekend while they're in the area. They've got number 18, John Polka, trying to clear it. Going the other way is Neil Wallace, number 43, gets it to Farron. There's another one for Farron. And what did he do?
Went low.
Went low.
I like it. I like it. He didn't even hear me. He's just doing it on his own.
Yeah.
He didn't need to be coached by me. Haven't helped anybody coached by me.
But a nice run here by Neil Wallace, a transfer from Notre Dame down to Moore. I can't say it, but
I think you said it well.
Here's a good look at it.
Nice no-look pass.
And it just goes low. It's nearly impossible for the goalie to save something like that. He just cannot get down fast enough. Tyler Monteith going against Sutherland on the face-off. And I think there's going to be a loose ball push out there. And it's going to go to Illinois. So Illinois continuing to do a nice job on the face-off. Valencia now taking it. Going against Monteith, going topside, trying to go against Elliot Groh, drops the ball.
Just not a lot of movement on offense for Illinois right now.
Valencia gets it over to number 7, that's Grisco. Grisco going against Monteith. Goes across the field to Black, and he's immediately double teamed. And Jordan Harris comes out of there with it, gets it up to Elliot Groh.
Pass.
BYU has numbers. Groh going across field to Heyer. Heyer takes a shot, goes wide. And BYU backs it up with Ted Farron.
You know, when Groh brings it down, whether he brings it in himself or he passes it, the ball has a way of ending up within 5 feet of the cage.
Yeah.
He just understands how to press, and then feed the crease.
And distribute, yeah. That's that point guard mentality you talked about. He knows how to get the ball to the players who can finish.
In tight space. This is a big field for him.
And he's playing with a broken hand, mind you.
Which is unbelievable. I don't understand it. I mean, he told me after the alumni game last weekend, he said, I'm going to play. I'm looking at him. He's got a cast on his hand. I'm like, no, you're not, Elliot. He said, yeah, I'm going to play. I really thought he was joking. I didn't know he was going to play until he put the jersey on.
So Heyer now going against Warzanski, the short stick. And finds Paul Davis cutting with a nice shot. Goes wide.
It was a nice idea by Paul Davis. Nice curl right in front of the cage. Not a lot of movement, but very significant.
Ted Farron now going against Arndt. Tries to find Mark Davis sitting on the crease, can't find him. Gainey tries to get it back to his keeper. And Ted Farron's going to cook that ground ball.
No, I'm not sure they're going to count that as a ride. More a turnover, but it's just more of the same from the Cougs. The ball goes on the ground and the offense engages all over again. In the ride, they're so tenacious.
Here goes Jesse Curtis, freshman out of Brighton High School in Salt Lake City. Gets it all the way over to Paul Davis with a big shot.
I love how Paul Davis puts it on the ground. Kind of a broken record about that tonight. That top shelf shot is so pretty. They're the highlight shots with better percentage if you put it on the ground.
And a good look here by Jesse, getting it backside. And Paul Davis.
It's just beautiful.
Just that worm burner.
It's beautiful. It looked like me hitting off the tee.
So we've got to score 12-3 here with 4:53 left in the third. And Illinois, if they're going to do something, they've got to really do it now.
Yeah,
the game's getting out of reach.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, we're kind of getting to the point of the game in the third quarter where it just doesn't seem that Illinois can come back. That seems kind of obvious right now. And so what are you going to do? You're going to work. Both teams are going to work their offenses, try and improve, and probably sub in some guys.
Yeah, I'd hope that BYU gets the opportunity. They've got a good squad here, 50-some-odd guys.
Yeah, and I'd like to see some of those guys.
Get some of these guys a little bit of playing time. And I think Coach Lamb will probably start thinking about that here at the end of the third quarter. He's got his first midfield line in here. Maybe this could be their last run of the day.
Probably should be.
If they can get another tally here. And Higher saves that one from going out of bounds.
Monteith. Is that Monteith? No, it's Higher.
Higher. Yeah. So Nagley steps in. And you got Josh Austin going against Costello, number 9. Austin with the left hand with the big shot. Another nice save. Riccozzi.
He's getting a lot of work tonight. It's a good outlet pass. A little too much air under it, but I think it's target.
Warzanski's going to draw the penalty. I think they're going to call that on Garrett Cottle, number 44.
I think they're going to call a slash, but I think in that situation, the stick looked like it was under control.
And O'Malley sees the short stick's going to try and take it on Monteith. Monteith, quick feet.
Good idea. Really good idea.
If that was a shot, it was a...
No, it was a feed. He was feeding the opposite side of the crease, and it was a very good idea. Christian just sniffed it out. Kikamoto just sniffed it out and knocked the pass down. But it was a nice idea.
So BYU's going to be man down for a minute with 3:03 left here in the third quarter, leading with this BYU leading 12-3. And as we've kind of mentioned, BYU really dominating the first quarter. Illinois making a comeback at the end of the first quarter into the second, and now BYU just really taking off here in the third and putting this game seemingly on ice unless Illinois makes a run here real quick.
Hey, we've both seen some crazy things. I don't think it's going to happen here. I just don't see it. Illinois would have to elevate their game real quick, and they certainly would need to convert on this possession.
There's Kikamoto picking that one out. Murphy-Smith going the other way. BYU is man down. Murphy-Smith clearing it.
But good speed.
Good speed, good stick work, and that goes off an Illinois stick. And the referee is...
He's consulting.
He's consulting. I think that went off the Illinois player stick.
I think it did too, and I think they're doing a nice job of sitting down and figuring this one out. I love it when a crew does this.
Good crew. Mike O'Malley there in the glasses. Marty Salato.
Marty's been doing this a long time. He knows what to do on the field. Marty's a pretty decent player too.
And they are going to give it to Illinois. Marty playing on those old Salt Lake Club teams, the Toulouse Club team, and
playing Summer League.
Played the men's club league for years. Oh, and there's a big shot by Black, number 35.
Beauty.
Puts it right by Kikumoto. Just off the hip, opposite side.
Hey, there's life on the Illinois side. It's a nice shot. Plants his foot. Nice follow through. He's got a lot of pace on it. It's a nice shot.
Looks like he really snuck it into it. When you talk about pickle jars, that was a skinny pickle jar.
Yeah, it was a beauty. He's got some skill. I really like that kid.
So there's Kikumoto. Matt Erickson, their backup goalie, looking a little anxious over here on the sidelines, thinking maybe he's going to get in. Which, again, I think you and I both, Charlie, hope some of these young kids get in.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to get some work in for the, to go deep in the roster right now.
And Groh.
It might be just a tad early in the game, but...
gets it to Farron, gets it to Higher, back to Farron. And the third midfield line coming in, Angelos. Number 24, Neil Watterson still on the field. Off the face-off. And Jeremy Reif coming in. And Bryant Angelos, number 19, will be joining his brother Ryan on the field here. As Groh comes off. Bryant Angelos gets it over to Higher, over to Ted Farron. And Farron going against number 25, Phil Dodson, taking around the right side of the cage. Looking for that place we call the island, 5 yards off, 5 yards up. Didn't find any openings, so just runs through the crease. And Mark Davis going against Gainey, number 20.
Running a full circle around the cage. You know, I don't think that the defense should, they need to concentrate on not letting them run the ball that long. It's too long.
And Davis finding Angelos. Oh!
Ouch.
That was a big shot, and then Angelos took a shot. Big shot there by Higher, goes wide.
You know, if I close my eyes, that almost looks like Greg Saunders taking that shot, laying his stick back there, winding up a little bit, and then exploding
with the underhand left shot.
That's exactly right. Greg Saunders, legendary attackman for BYU in the 80s. Great, great, great player. One of the true gentlemen of the sport.
Gentlemen, yeah.
One of the true gentlemen, no question.
Yeah, the true, I guess I won't tell any stories.
Well, let's not. Let's let that lie.
Greg, we hope you're watching in Canada. Hey, beauty, take off, you hoser.
Lethbridge, I think. Is that right?
Tabor.
Tabor. Close to left.
Tabor, Alberta, yeah.
They're all tough guys up there.
Oh my goodness, up there, yeah. 7 seconds and Ted Farron. I think that's 4 or 5, isn't it?
He's got some skills. He really has got some skills. I mean, the kid is going to develop into a great player. He already is.
Well, and you know, he's really exposed. Well, I don't know. I mean, they already knew how talented he was, but certainly moving him to the attack has really kind of given him a little bit of new life.
Who are you going to put on your best pole on? You're going to put him on Farron after this game?
Yeah.
You're going to put him on Davis? I mean, maybe Davis, if I'm scheming for this team, I'd probably put the best pole on Davis.
I definitely would put him on Davis.
But you're leaving a Higher and Farron.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I guess that's why Coach Stevens told Jeremy he didn't really have a specific plan. Because what do you do?
Yeah, how do you plan it? I mean, everyone go out and have a good game because BYU is going to be strong in every position.
And there's the end of the quarter. And so we'll see if BYU gets the chance to get some of these younger players in, give them a run here in the fourth quarter. We're going to take a break. We're going to be right back with BYU leading 13-4. Hey, welcome back. We've got Jerem Jordan on the sideline with Marshall Kay.
Thanks, Marty. Now, Marshall, you hurt something. Tell us a little bit about your injury and how it happened.
Well, we were in California for our 4 games in 5 days, and I sustained an injury to my pinky.
Let's get a look at it.
Well, it's wrapped up now, but it's a little swollen. I can take this off and give you a little sneak peek. And it's just severely broken. You know, I played on it a couple games, but unfortunately the injury's too severe to continue playing on. So I have to get surgery on Monday morning, and then we're gonna go from there.
Now, talk about the role you play on the team now. You're kind of an assistant coach, especially with your replacement, Ted Farron.
Yeah, Ted's a great player, and you know, anywhere you stick him on the field, he's gonna do great things. So, but you know, it's kind of take it upon my responsibility to put him under my wing and try to teach him, you know, more about the college level and just try to enhance his ability as a player.
Well, thanks, Marshall. We hope for the best.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Back to you, Marty.
Thanks, Jerem, and we wish Marshall the best in his healing. Oh, and there's a goal there by Sutherland on the new goalkeeper, Matt Erickson. Matt Erickson in there for BYU. Matt Erickson out of Bountiful High School in Bountiful, Utah. Take a look at that one. Sutherland just driving on his man, Mike Addis, number 23. And Erickson doesn't quite get a beat on it, so there's a nice goal there by Illinois. But BYU's made wholesale changes at the defense. Mark Miller, freshman out of Pleasant Grove. You got Nate Wynn, number 42, senior out of Delaware. Midfielders, you got number 51, Josh Howland out of Olympus High School. And Erickson comes up with that one. That loose ball ended up in front of him. Howland, oh, can't come up with the loose ball there, number 51. And Sean Cudney trying to get a hold of it. So the ball's a little bit loose, some of these younger players out there. Mark Miller trying to get it across field. Does so to Nate Wynn. Denzel Egan ends up with it for BYU. Gets it to the attackman, Carl Arnold, number 25. You've got Jordan McKenzie, number 29, attackman out of Jordan High School, and Jerem Wynn, number 9. Jesse Curtis, number 38, Brighton High School freshman.
Love seeing all these Utah kids out here. I really like seeing the products of this growing, vibrant Utah high school system.
Jordan McKenzie, big scorer for Jordan High School last year. And the whole starting attack for Jordan High at BYU now with Nathaniel Robinson, Corey Gunderson, and Jordan McKenzie, or who they call J-Mac.
Powerful unit for Jordan last year, my goodness. Of course, highly favored going into the high school championship last year, and Waterford pulled it out, is that right?
Yep. Mike Addis
with JT Nebeker, who had a great tournament, now playing at Westminster.
And there's Jordan McKenzie. You've also got number 45, Devin Tyre, who plays on the man-up unit for BYU, out there on that
great idea. Just couldn't thread that pass.
Jesse Curtis cannot save that one from going out of bounds. So more changes. The defensive midfield line for BYU coming on. Josh Howland, number 47, Kyle Nilsson out of Mission Viejo High School in Tribuca Canyon, California. And Garrett Cotterill, number 44, long stick midfielder out of Alta High School. And Illinois trying to clear. McKenzie on the ride, gets it up to Schnitzer for Illinois going the other way. Number 14, Andrew Cole, trying to get it up to number 15. Dodson can't handle it, it's going the other way. And Mark Miller, freshman defender out of Pleasant Grove, is going to take this one. And again, wholesale changes for BYU. A lot of these youngsters getting in. Number 28, Ethan Cook. Crossfield pass over to Denzel Egan, number 48. Going the other way. Hiram Judd out of Ogden, Utah, also in the game.
Denzel Egan showing a nice handle on the ball.
Number 15, Sam Wardle.
Now, Marty, I've been having a little fun over here, messing with the top 16 teams right now, as if this would be the seedings for the tournament. And trying to prove a point here, which I think is going to be pretty clear how deep this field is, all right? Now, if we were to look at this, and the seeds were to advance, but there's some spectacular first-round games. Okay, Oregon, the #1 seed, would have to go in against Florida. That's not a gimme game. I think Oregon is up to that task, but that's not your typical easy game in the first round of the tournament. Michigan would play Utah. Duluth would play Cal Poly. That would be a gem.
They've already played.
Is that right?
Yes, and Duluth won that game, but it was
but very close. Yeah. Very close. Colorado would play Santa Barbara in the first round. That'd be a brutal game for Colorado in the first round, that 7-10 game.
Yeah. Now we've got a penalty here on Kyle Nelson. That's number 47, freshman out of Mission Viejo High School. And we're going to get a 1-minute penalty. Coach Lamb arguing the point. Coach Lamb really, I don't know that he had a good argument on that one.
Well, you can't argue. You can't argue with it. But had it not been called, it wouldn't have surprised me.
Defending his players, that's great. So go ahead.
All right, let's get back to my bracket here. Florida State would play Northeastern in the first round. That's a tough game. Florida State would actually be the higher seed there, but talk about a pick-em 8-9 game. Yeah. You know, Northeastern had a great trip to California. Currently undefeated, right?
Yeah.
Have not lost a game. Sonoma and Arizona in the first round. Colorado State would play ASU, and BYU would play Lindenwood. Okay? Second round game for BYU. Colorado State. Second round, BYU would play Colorado State.
Okay, so they're calling an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty
like
on the coach.
Yep.
They're calling that on the coach. Coach Lamb's not happy. But he was arguing that other call before, and I'm not sure who they must have called it on Coach Lamb, but the in-home is going to serve, and so there will be consecutive penalties here for BYU.
Yeah, the first team man-down unit is in, and they're boxed up.
So I think it's I think it's longer than a minute. I think it was maybe 1 or 2 minutes.
Well, you'd like to see Illinois convert here with that kind of opportunity. They're not going to do it just dropping the ball. I mean, it's just a bad time for a turnover.
And
wow,
what a clear! Oh,
my goodness.
Wow! Mark Davis comes up with it still, but
I don't know
Jordan Harris.
Preston should have had that.
Jordan Harris made
great look.
Great pass. Oh! But Jordan Harris made a great pass to a streaking Preston Folger. Just barely missed it. Mark Davis comes up with it, and BYU almost gets a shot.
Boy, Jordan Harris dropped that ball in exactly where it needed to be. That was something else.
The man-down unit almost gets a score. So, yeah, I mean, just as you're pointing out, Charlie, I mean, it could be a fascinating tournament.
Well, sure, BYU picks up Colorado State in the first round. Sonoma gets Florida State. Colorado plays Duluth in the second round, and Michigan against Oregon.
Well,
holy Hannah, who's going to win those games?
And I'm anxious to see the Colorado game here in 2 weeks because, you know, kind of a mystery where started off strong beating Colorado College. J-Mac with a shot, just goes wide, but beat Colorado College and seem to be, you know, their usual selves, and then they go down to Texas and lose to Texas A&M and barely beat Texas in overtime. So
well, Colorado really is, Oregon, I think, will probably win out their schedule. They're playing Colorado. That's going to be an interesting game. BYU's got some tough games coming up with Colorado and Colorado State.
You can see the total shots there. BYU 45, Illinois 20.
It is lopsided.
BYU just firing away.
Michigan's probably going to run through the rest of their schedule.
They do play BYU.
Michigan and BYU this year.
Yeah, BYU has a trip to Michigan to play Michigan and Michigan State.
Oh well, those are going to be some nice games, but still, the outcomes of those games won't change the seedings very much. Colorado is a team that could really mess up where the teams stand right now. They play Oregon before the end of the year, and they play BYU, and that could really pop some teams in either direction.
Yeah. Well, that was an interesting call. Jordan Harris seemed to get pushed from behind. And they give it to Illinois, and so they get a horn, get some substitutions in, and BYU wants their regular man-down unit in there. So yeah, I mean it's really a great draw from a fan's perspective. I mean, you've got 16 teams, all capable. And it makes it very exciting for lacrosse at this level, which is indicative of the growth of lacrosse, you know, at the youth levels, high school level, and now at this level. Because this, I mean, the MCLA is the fastest growing level of lacrosse in the country.
Well, it's not a surprise. I mean, it's just exploding at the high school level. But it used to be you'd talk about the tournament, going out to the tournament. So you and me were talking about going out to the tournament. When are you coming out on Thursday night?
Right.
You know, because you're not going to go there for the first 2 games. The likelihood that you're going to pass those games. BYU's been to the Final Four I don't know how many times out of the last 10 years.
Right.
A lot of them. So when are we going to go in Thursday night? That's not the trip. You got to take a week off this year.
That's not a given.
It's going to be an incredible tournament. It's really interesting. At the beginning of the year, you know, knowing what I knew about the talent coming into BYU, I really thought that they had a chance to dominate this year, and that the other teams just weren't going to be improving at the same rate that BYU is. A little too much of his hands there on that play, I thought, but there's no call by Zach Davis.
And Zach Davis taking it down for BYU. Tries to get the pass to Jerem Wynn, can't handle it, and he'll pick up that ground ball.
I think the incremental gain from other teams in the league, like your Oregons and your Duluths and Northeasterns, and they were greater than what BYU's improvement this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jordan McKenzie over to Jerem Wynn, number 9, gets it up top. Number 23, Mike Addis. Mike Addis, a freshman midfielder out of New Jersey.
You know, there's another team out there that nobody's talking about. I don't see it. I don't see on message boards. I just don't hear any buzz about them. But I think it would be crazy to forget them, and that's Santa Barbara. They're so experienced. Those guys know how to play in the tourney. And nobody's talking about them. Santa Barbara, for heaven's sake, they're coming in right now at a 10 seed.
And there's J-Mac. J-Mac with the shot. They're going to call a Ward.
Which I think was a good call. He really got his elbow up there.
Jordan McKenzie, really a player's favorite here on the team. He's always smiling.
You know, you probably can get it. You probably can get away with that, Ward, if it's done quickly. You know, you lift up the elbow and then shoot real quick.
Yeah.
But when you create that separation, he held it for 2 or 3 steps, and that's an easy call.
And the ball still loose on the ground. Trying to come with it. Garrett Cotterill takes a shot.
Big hit.
And then Brady Cragen out of Eugene, Oregon, lays a big hit on Michael Briscoe.
I think it was a clean hit. I think it was a great hit. But you know, this late in the game.
So there's the behind. They're going to call that one first, I think. I'm not exactly sure if they did call that. I don't agree with it, but
no, he just laid his shoulder down and carried right through.
I thought that was a good hit by Brady Cragen.
I thought it was a good hit, but this late in the game with the score, you know, really uncontested, the referees have got to take control.
Yeah, they don't want any flying around here that's unnecessary.
And there shouldn't be. There shouldn't be. Both teams have given a real good effort, and this thing should finish clean. And I think it's a good idea for the referees to assert themselves at this point in the game.
Folger going against O'Malley, so there's a matchup from early in the game. But BYU does have their man-down unit in, and has done a really nice job killing off these late penalties here in the game.
So good on the cruise. So good.
Oh, tries to find Nathaniel Robinson, can't do it. Jordan McKenzie picking up that ground ball, running away from pressure. Great technique there for young players. Picks up the ground ball, runs away from pressure, turns, tries to find his guy. Murphy can't handle it.
And it's good to get some work on the second unit here. It's a good idea. Get him in the game, get the sweat going, hit some passes.
Jordan McKenzie double team there. BYU is man down. He's going to have to get it in the box. And he just throws it into the box to get the count. And Jerem Wynn comes up with the loose ball. Now BYU has numbers. The players coming on. Nathaniel Robinson with the shot. And backed up nicely there by Ethan Cook.
BYU's second unit playing pretty nice in there. It's a little sloppy. There's some turnovers, but the basic structure of what they're doing is nice. They're moving nicely off the ball. They're trying to hit assisted goals.
And these youngsters, they've got wheels, anxious to get out there and play. Been waiting their turn patiently. You know, haven't got to play against CSU and Duluth, and so getting some time. They're anxious.
Your girlfriend's coming to the game over and over, waiting for you to get in the game.
That's right. Hiram Judd. Now, if I recall, Hiram Judd is only 17 years old.
Is that right?
I think he graduated from high school early. He actually played last year as a 16-year-old freshman.
No.
Yeah.
16 years old.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Or maybe he was 16 in the fall, but he's young. I couldn't have my facts incorrect. There's a shot there by Dan Crawford. He's out of Centennial High School in Eagle, Idaho. Jordan McKenzie taking the shot.
How many high schools in Idaho play in the game? Do you know?
It's growing. I know there's at least a dozen. And it is growing fast up there in Idaho, as it is throughout the West and throughout the nation. Utah currently has 41 teams in its high school league. And if you compare that to a powerhouse state like Colorado, Colorado only has 49.
You know, Illinois, I think, is in the 60 range and very, very close to the high school sanctioning, which is really terrific. That just solidifies the game in the States, and it takes our, that's a magic event.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can see evidence of that with the Duluth team. I mean, I believe that Minnesota has sanctioned a high school sport.
That's right.
And you can see the development. Minnesota, Duluth, almost every player, I mean, with the exception of a few, are native to the state. And, you know, they've taken that and raised that game to a whole new level.
Well, Illinois is the same way. They got a lot of homegrown players on this team. And I just think that it's fantastic. I love the regional draw that these great schools become.
Well, BYU, the same thing. BYU is enjoying the success of the growth of lacrosse in the state of Utah. And they're benefiting from it, getting players like Elliot Groh and Ted Farron, Nathaniel Robinson, you know, players at this caliber that come in and make an impact. Nice look, just can't convert. Crawford, number 33. And he's got the ball, and again, you've got your subjective, see, stepped on the line. So there's one of the calls. If they step on the line of the box, that's coming out. Let's jump it over to Jerem Jordan. He's got some information on the Fighting Illini. Jerem.
That's right. Although it doesn't affect lacrosse, Chief Illinois has been a big part of Illinois for years. That's their mascot. I don't know, but BYU athletics would be majorly different without Cosmo. A month ago, the university decided to finally end using Chief Illinois because the NCAA termed him a hostile or abusive mascot and image. There's been a controversy for years, and other universities have dealt with this as well, including the University of Utah with the Utes. So that's been kind of a big deal there. The entire lacrosse team went out to the final basketball game where Chief Illinois had his last dance, and those from Illinois are saddened, and those from outside of Illinois, while they see his loss, they're a little indifferent to it. Back to you.
Thanks, Jared. That has been interesting to watch some of those changes in the NCAA, and you know, for the schools that are affected, mixed emotions. So.
Yeah, I know. I have always been offended by Cosmo.
Well, he's quite an offensive cougar.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time before they get rid of Cosmo.
So BYU, DJ Sullivan in there at goal. He's a sophomore out of Timpanogos High School. Recently returned from a mission. Elliot Groh back in on a rotation, along with Corey Gunderson. And Mark Davis also on, so getting some different legs on there, different rotations. Steve Nagley. And there's some, Jerem Wynn. That was a case of too many fakes right there.
Lots of fakes, but a great save. It was really a terrific save.
Okuzi with another nice save. And a big hit there by Nate Wynn. Boy. That was Brzezinski, the recipient of that hit, and Nate Wynn is not small. Groh gets it up to Curtis, number 38.
You know, this second unit is pretty talented. This team goes deep.
Well, I haven't seen Jesse Curtis yet this year. Nice feed there.
It's a great feed.
And there's Corey Gunderson, number 17, out of Jordan High School, another freshman. And I'd like to, Jesse Curtis has looked good today, number 38, freshman out of Brighton on that second midfield line. He's in there for Grant Cotterill today. Grant in street clothes, must be injured.
Yeah, real good. I think the defensive units look very nice too. Is that DJ Sullivan in the cage? DJ
Sullivan in the cage now. Matt Erickson was in there for a bit.
Yep.
And getting both their backup goalies in there, but you know, Matt's a great example of someone who came to BYU and probably looked to be the fourth goalie, you know, when he started, but with missions and with an injury to Chucky Powers and you know, kind of working his way in the system and keeping at it. He's the backup goalie now. So
nice save there by DJ Sullivan. And Illinois really has something to hang their hat on with the faces. That's an area of the game BYU's got to work on. That's 2 games in a row losing the face-off battle.
Yeah. Well, and again, I think it's somewhat surprising. I think Neil Watterson had a lot of success in the fall. I mean, I saw a lot of that trips to New York and to Las Vegas, and you know, he's just maybe struggled a little bit this spring figuring it out. But let's see here. Oh, there's a timeout for BYU. So Mike Addis takes the punishment, and we've got a timeout with 2:19 left here in the fourth quarter. BYU leading 14-5. We're going to be right back with the final 2 minutes right after this. Hey, there's a good look at the crowd, but let's give it up for dads. I love that commercial. I've had a few dance sessions in the living room with my daughters, and great commercial there.
Well, if I ever have a daughter, they're never going to see dance moves like that from me, and that's trouble.
Charlie,
my wife doesn't let me.
We've seen your dance moves. They're pretty similar. They're pretty similar to that. Don't kid yourself.
They're not that good.
All right, here's Jesse Curtis now up at the top of the box, taking a drive down to the right side, looking for a throwback pass. Finds Devin Tyre. Oh, that's what they want from him, the big left-handed shot.
Boy, he really does have a cannon.
He's a big boy.
He's a big kid.
And he can fire that ball.
Now they have to keep it in the box.
And Crawford trying to keep it in, can't do it. Mike Addis trying to hold it in the box. Dan Crawford now, settle it down. Gets it over to Addis. Pops it up top to Jesse Curtis, and he's going to step out. That was close.
Looked like he did to me.
And 1:30 left in the game. And both teams seem content to just maybe run this one out. Jesse Storr, number 36, handling it, and he's going to get a penalty. And he was going to get 2, and I think the referee just decided that what's the use?
Which is the right call. It's Mike O'Malley. He's seen a few games. Mike O'Malley, a co-worker with my wife.
Oh, yeah?
True story. At GE.
Yeah, he's been a great asset to the game here in Utah, both on the officiating side, and he's headed up the high school lacrosse league as its commissioner in the past, and so he's been a great proponent of lacrosse and used to get out and play a little bit, but haven't seen Mike play in a couple of years. I think the knees have had the best of him.
Yeah, hard to underestimate the contribution that Mike O'Malley's had.
I mean, he's up there with some of the, you know, the basic good hands, the Jason Lambs.
Absolutely.
You know, of the people that have contributed to lacrosse in the state of Utah, Mike is right up there with those gentlemen.
No question. He's just absolutely controlled the officials, trained and advocated for better and more officials. You have to have that if the sport is going to grow. That really is one of the hardest.
It's one of the limiting factors. Yeah, it's absolutely one of the limiting factors. Coaching and referees, if you do not have the adequate supply, the sport can't grow. They're always adding new referees every year, and they're getting them trained, and they're doing a good job. And that's going to allow the sport to continue to grow here in the state of Utah and across the country as officials. And so, you know, if you've ever run a game, which Charlie, I know you have,
it's tough.
It's not the easiest thing in the world to do by any means.
It is tough.
There's a shot by Black. There's a nice shot.
Yeah, I like Black. He's a nice player.
I did get the endorsement from Mike O'Malley. He told me I vibes in, he told me.
Is that right? He told me to take off this Friday. No, he didn't. He said I was okay. It's just such a tough thing to do. I really.
It is definitely, you get a new appreciation. You see the game in a different way.
I'd never watched a game from that perspective.
15 seconds left here in the game. BYU leads 14-5. Are they going to just hold it? Crawford looking for a cutter, can't find one. Illinois pressuring him. What's he going to do?
Out of the box.
Out of the box. Out of the box. Kyle Nilsson tried to take the big shot, but it stepped out of the box. And Arndt tries to take the last shot, and that's the ball game. So BYU wins 14-5, and you know, I think a valiant effort by Illinois. BYU, I think, is going to be happy with their effort overall. Clearing obviously was excellent again. Riding was excellent. The face-off X probably a concern at this point. Needs some work there. But you know, overall, I think they're going to be happy with the performance tonight.
You know, last year Oregon came in here and played, and I think that we thought it would likely be a win for BYU, and they came in here, understood the level that they needed to get to, and they come back next year guns blazing. There's teams that have been doing that over the years, and watch out for Illinois.
Yeah.
They got a great coach, they got some players, and I think in a couple of years you're going to start seeing some real good teams out of Illinois.
Hey, we're going to be right back with some final thoughts. BYU wins this one 14-5. And we welcome you back as the players shake hands. There's Coach Stevens for Illinois. And Charlie, as you mentioned, I think he's got a great base to build from and can expect some great things as he continues to build this program, only in his second year there. And, you know, as you do see the programs that start to excel, you do have to have some consistency at the coaching position for that to occur. So, and there's Rukoski had a great game in goal. Take a look there at the shots and the saves for Rukoski, 19 saves.
I mean, that's decent. BYU just taking so many shots. Look at that face-off number. That's interesting. BYU needs to find something there. The ground ball number is so lopsided. BYU really just tenacious, mostly on the offensive end, picking up the ground ball. 40 for 42 on clears. They got to work on their. Illinois got to work on their ride, and BYU's ride was just fabulous.
So 71 ground balls seems like a lot. I don't.
That's a lot of ground balls.
I mean, that ball must be on the ground a lot to have you know, a total of over 120 ground balls. But take a look at our upcoming broadcast here on BYU TV. Is baseball, BYU versus TCU. That's going to be Thursday, March 22nd, 6 p.m. on BYU TV and KBYU Live. Our next lacrosse broadcast will be April 7th as BYU takes on University of Colorado. For myself and the Hall of Famer Charlie Friedman, we thank you for watching. It's been a great day. It's been a great evening for lacrosse here in Utah. For our production crew, everybody in the truck, the fans, and everybody that's helped out with this broadcast, I thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you the next time. Take care.